whether the Supreme Court judgment can settle the political tussle between the Lieutenant Governor and elected government of Delhi examined. See, this question was very much expected because there was a lot of tussle going on between the LG, Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, and the Chief Minister of the state. So that's how there was a Supreme Court judgment regarding the same year, July 2018. And so they're just asking you whether or not that judgment will be able to settle the political tussle. So, and since it's a polity question, so we have to somehow also tell that what was there in the Supreme Court judgment. I luckily had read it. Any important judgment which you feel is coming up, please go through at least the summary of the judgment. So you can reference that judgment in your answer. So I, first of all, I, just mentioned the article of the Constitution, Article 239 AA, which mentions about the power sharing with Delhi. Article 239 AA, which has mentioned the power sharing with Delhi and how it happens. And then I moved yes, I acknowledged yes, there has been a power tussle. Since it's a 250 word answer, you have scope to elaborate in the start. You have scope to elaborate a bit. So you can acknowledge the fact that there has been power tussle. There has been a little bit of breaks or breakdowns where people are having inconvenience, the government's not working properly, there's certain frequent breakdowns that are happening. So we can acknowledge it. Now moving on to the question that how do you think that the Supreme Court judgment can settle it? So now just referring to the Supreme Court judgment, I remembered some lines of the Supreme Court judgments. I remember things like it said that elected government can talk to or can inform the LG about the decisions, but it always need not concur with the decision of LG. So concurrence is not required. Concurrence is not required. This was one thing that I was reminded of. Another thing is that LG cannot act in a completely independent manner, and it has to also listen to the elected government. Then apart from public order, land and police, rest other things are somehow in the ball is in the court of the Delhi government. That was there. But in the Supreme Court judgment, another judge also noted that Delhi is not a full-fledged state. So Delhi belongs to the nation as a whole. And I was reading an article with regard to this in the newspaper, and there was a mention of a committee called the Balakrishnan Committee report, which had talked about in length how Delhi is not a full-fledged state, and there has to be considerable control of the center also. So this was there. There was two big key terms which Supreme Court had used in its judgment. The key terms were constitutional morality and constitutional trust. So that I utilized in my conclusion of the answer. I said that even the Supreme Court has said that the constitutional morality and trust has to be maintained, and both LG and the Chief Minister has to show constitutional marksmanship, and because ultimately the aim of the government is to serve the people. That's how I try to say the power struggle might be on and on, but it's ultimately about both the institutions understanding that their role is very important for administration.